What's up, people? A Ghanaian member of parliament had a clash with the US ambassador to his country over the anti LGBT bill, which may become law in his country. I'm Chibuzo Machuku. I would appreciate you liking this video and subscribing to my channel. The US ambassador to Ghana, Virginia Palmer, warned that if that anti LGBT bill becomes law, that will impact investors from America. Sam George, the Ghanaian parliament member, pointed out the hypocrisy of the US government and also expects the investors to respect the culture and values of Ghana as well as the law. I'll roll the clips now.
Ghana is a very welcoming, tolerant society. Lots of interreligious harmony, a lot of interethnic harmony, and that makes Ghana strong and stable and attractive for investment. I hope it stays that way with regard to the LGBT community. And again, there's money to be made. You know, the color of your money is green or red if it's Ghanaian. But if there is discrimination or worse, then that will send a signal to not just LGBT investors and exporters, but the other American companies that Ghana is less welcoming than I'm telling people that it is now. So I hope it will stay welcoming. Appetite for that. I want to send a signal that Ghana is open for business and that Ghana's economic recovery has begun. And this is a special trade delegation because it's the global diversity and inclusion delegation. So we have representatives from the National Black Chamber, for example. We have women-owned businesses. We have LGBT-owned businesses, even Native American-owned businesses. So it's a real symbol of groups that had previously not participated in the international market who are now coming to do some good business with Ghana.
Well, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to your listeners, your viewers. I've taken note of the U.S. ambassador's comments, and I think and believe that she should sleep easy. In her own voice, recording that you just played, she makes the point that Ghana is religiously tolerant, and it makes us a safe and welcoming destination for business, which is very true. So the point must be made that Ghana, even as a country that is religiously tolerant, does not accept religious extremism. And so even if you were a business person who was bringing money to invest in Ghana, because of your religious extremist views, Ghana would not welcome you. But the U.S. ambassador still thinks that Ghana is religiously tolerant. So then why is it that when Ghana wants to pass a legislation to protect its culture and its values, she thinks that that will make us intolerant? For us, our culture is who we are. It defines who we are. And I can assure her of one thing. Ghana will pass the legislation. American businesses that respect our values and our culture are always welcome to do business here. For me, I believe that every businessman's bottom line is profit. And any businessman worth his salt, if you were going to go into business with somebody, and what you try to do is to find out the value system of that person. Do they have values? Do they have integrity? That's what you look for in a potential business partner. How will business investors look at Ghana? That we're a country that cannot hold on to our values because of money that is green or red, in the words of the ambassador? No. We will stick to our culture. You want to do business in Ghana, you come here, you respect our laws, and it's fine. The people who do export business to the US from Ghana, they are polygamists. There are people who own businesses that export to the US. Those people are polygamous or are polygamist. However, they still do their business and export to the US, but they do not impose their polygamy on the US people. So why should the US people come who want to do business here in Ghana come and impose LGBTQ on us? For what? What has that got to do with business? So Ghana will stay, and many of these investors, like she said, are from various parts of America, from Florida, from Kentucky. Those states in the U.S. already have legislation that clamps down on LGBTQ persons, stronger legislation than Ghana is even thinking to do. And again, the U.S. Supreme Court recently gave a landmark ruling on the rights of persons to refuse to do business with LGBTQ people. So the Supreme Court of the U.S. agrees with Ghana's parliament on the positioning of our bill. So I don't see the point that Ambassador is making. Ghana remains open, and I'm happy that even though the investors knew that or are very well aware that Ghana is about to pass this law, they came. They came in their numbers because Ghana still remains that safe, stable democracy in the sub-Saharan region, and they will come. LGBTQ or no LGBTQ, they will come because Ghana is profitable.
I never knew that LGBTQ was a race or an ethnic group. If you like to practice homosexuality and you're in a country like this country, the USA, it is your right to practice it. However, when you enter a country where homosexuality is illegal, your right disappears. To get that right back, you will have to come back to America or legally to any other country where it is legal. I don't see what homosexuality has got to do with business. If you don't want people to get into your personal life, then keep it to yourself. When you're doing business, you focus on business. Like Sam George mentioned, there are people from other countries that come to US for business. They travel here for business. Some of them are polygamists, but they don't get the USA to allow polygamy. So I don't understand why this should be a different thing when it comes to something with reverse country roles. You're not practicing homosexuality when you're making money. If you travel to a country to do business and something that you like to do is illegal, just respect that country and avoid doing it. Focus on business. If you call yourself an LGBT person and you're traveling to a country where the LGBT thing is illegal just for business, then just focus on business. When it is time for you to leave, you leave. When you get back to your country where your lifestyle is legal, then you're free to practice it. Countries have the right to have their own laws, cultures, and values. Like Uganda and most other African countries, Ghana will not ditch its values over money. As for the other investors from the USA that are not LGBTs, what has that got to do with them? Nothing. They should care just about the money. They need to mind their business. As for the words of the US ambassador to Ghana, Virginia Palmer, I strongly dismiss them. And besides, what about American investors that go to countries in the Middle East? They are not concerned about it. If they were concerned, I would hear it already. The US ambassadors to the Middle Eastern countries don't say things like what Palmer said. I also have never heard of businesses in parts of the USA that have anti-LGBT laws, have businesses over there impeded just because of the laws. If you like to practice homosexuality and you're planning to travel to a country that is against that lifestyle just for business, then focus on business. Make the money and leave when it's time to do so. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.